Hello, netizens. Welcome back to #CyberPeace Video Podcast. I am your host, Andosh Shimoni from CyberPeace Foundation. We are back with another episode of Keeping You Safe Online. All of us are at home, and even the cyber criminals are at home, and hence, there is a spike in the number of cyber related crimes. To solve your queries related to this, we have on board our expert, Mr. Rakshit Tandon, advisor, CyberPeace Foundation, and consultant, Internet and Mobile Association of India. Welcome, sir. So, let's begin. Our first question is, why there is not an option to check the validity of news in leading social media platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, etc.? To control fake news on social media is the biggest challenge nowadays.
Namaste. Take the first question from Ayush. What is how to check the validity of a news in leading social media platforms like WhatsApp? So Ayush, there are many tools currently which can help you. Like one of the tools very popular is Alt News, and there are other open source intelligence tools like checking reverse image search. You can do a reverse image search on Google Images. There are some open source tools like TinEye, which can help you to find the genuinity of the image which has been shared on your news. And the second important thing is whenever it is a news related to some city or society or police or government, it's always better to vouch for the verified handles of the government agencies on social media. So every government agency is on social media and they have verified handles. So it is always better to question or to check on their handles whether the news has been published there or not. And I think that is the easiest way to go about it. Thank you.
I lost my Gmail account password. My phone is in dead condition. Is there any chance to get back the password or reset it?
Namaste, Akhil. Answering your question, you have lost your Gmail account. So if you go to gmail.com and there is an option to forgot password or reset your password, and there they also provide you an option that if your old email or old phone number is not working, they try to ask you to verify your identity. So you can fill up that form of verify your identity. They will ask you your last passwords you remember, few email IDs which you have connected with, and there will be some more questions. When did you approximately created your account and all. And once you're able to verify yourself as a genuine user, Google will help you to get your account back. For further security, I would recommend all users that you should keep your recovery options safe. So suppose I have a Gmail account and I created it 10 years back. So please go and review your settings. Your secondary email ID and your mobile number is supposed to be working. So please keep on checking these options, because like Akhil has got into a situation and he lost his device and now he's not able to recover. So your recovery options can always help you to get your account back. So Akhil, I would suggest you to verify your identity on Google and try to recover your account back, and it will help. Thank you.
Please suggest some applications to work efficiently on laptop.
Namaste. The next question from Any Dan. Your question was that you want to know some applications to work efficiently for on your laptop. So to have a good efficiency on your laptop, so you keep on clearing your history, your temporary files. For that, in Windows you get a disk cleanup, which is an application. If you keep on running this application on a regular basis, it will keep the junk away from your laptop and your efficiency will be better. Second, you have a disk defragmenter also for the same purpose, which can help you, which you can run it once in a while, which can again improve the efficiency. So removing your junk files, temporary files and the cluttering of files helps to improve the efficiency. Then there are security softwares like Norton Security, Quick Heal, Total Security. These softwares, they come with inbuilt features of cleaning up your memory and optimizing your memory, which can help you to get a good speed on your laptop. Thank you.
So, can you explain in simple steps for digital payments nowadays with cards for users not using Paytm, UPI, Google Pay, etc., so that people new to digital payments or net banking feel safe online since it's locked down and cash is not in working mode?
Namaste, Manya. The next question, that how can you do safe payments with card if you are not using any wallets? So with cards, Manya, it's very important that on whatever applications you use your card, first of all, use it and don't save your card informations on any third-party apps. Avoid saving your card information, and keep changing your PIN on a regular basis. In India, all the card transactions have to be validated with a PIN or a OTP. So that is the best security you have. So when you do a card transaction, you will get an OTP on your phone. Until that you don't confirm your OTP, the transaction will not take place. So the OTP is the best way. Also, I advise users that whenever you go to an ATM machine or somewhere, you just cover your hands and enter your PIN. Don't leave the slip in the dustbin of the ATM, and you can erase the CVV from the back side of your card. You can just memorize it or keep it somewhere safe so that you remember it, but avoid keeping it printed on your card. So you can erase it, or you can just use a black marker to remove it from your card, and that's the best way. Also, last and very important thing, on whatever sites you do transactions with card, you have to check that they start with the HTTPS secured protocol, and there only you are using your cards. And these days a lot of attacks are happening where you're getting fake links. They are creating Google forms to.
How to keep home devices safe and secure?
Namaste, Megha. A very good question. How to keep your home devices safe and secure? So, number one, if your laptops and your phones, your operating system has to be updated. All your apps need to be updated with the latest security patches which are available. Don't delay the updation process. So if you get an alert on your laptop that there is a latest update available for XYZ app, immediately update. Second, if you have routers at your home, your routers should be secured, your Wi-Fi routers. Use a WPK2 encryption there, and keep your device safe in terms of Wi-Fi security especially. You can take help from any Wi-Fi engineer. You can even take online steps to secure your Wi-Fi router. And mainly for devices, uninstall and remove those apps which are not in regular use, and keep checking your privacy and security settings for the apps, and keep them updated. And use a good total security antivirus solution. There are a lot of products available. Microsoft comes with Defender. You have Norton, you have McAfee, you have Quick Heal. So these softwares can help you to protect your devices from viruses and malwares and spyware. Thank you, Megha.
How to check the authenticity of the mobile apps to be downloaded? How to stop the pop-up ads in browser and mobile apps?
Namaste. The next question from Mr. Narasimha Raoji. How do you check whether the apps which you download are safe or genuine, and how can you remove the pop-up? So, sir, the easiest way is to first, when you are downloading an app, number one, it should be from the Play Store only or the App Store. And second, you have to check about the developer. So you can see when you are installing an app, on the bottom you can see the developer name. A quick Google search about the developer name gives you a good insight. Number of downloads, how many downloads have been done on that app. Check the spelling mistakes, check the user reviews, what the users have written about it. And please recognize the unbelievable offers also which are coming ahead with the app. So that also gives you an insight whether the app is legitimate or not. Play Store comes with a tool called Play Protect, and that also please keep on checking the Play Protect to ensure that the app you are installing is safe or not. For pop-ups, your own browsers comes with an additional setting where you can block the pop-ups. Like for in Google Chrome, you can go to the settings and there's an option pop-up, you can say block. Then there are some third-party tools called ad blockers and pop-up blockers which you can install as a plugin, and they will protect your device and your browser to accidentally open those pop-ups. So the best way is to ensure that your browsers are secure. Go through the settings of your browsers and there you will find how to block. Otherwise you can also go for third-party tools. Thank you.
Sir, bank account person made fake Facebook ID of me and he has messaged through Messenger chat with connected friends. He has request for helping of the link. Friend has been aim of this. So I request you to please take the action. The link is shared.
नमस्कार सुनील कुमार जी, जो आपके साथ हुआ है, it is happening with a lot of people and you all have to be very safe here that people, the hackers, they make fake accounts from your social media handles and then they send messages on Messenger asking for money. अगर आपके साथ ऐसी घटना हुई है, you should immediately report it. You can report it on the National Reporting Cybercrime Portal, which is cybercrime.gov.in, or you can go to the nearest cyber cell if possible. And second, protect your identity. Privacy is very important on social media and your account handle is very important. So please, in your security settings of Facebook, you ensure that the two-factor authentication is on so that nobody can compromise. And you can alert your friends about this message from your status. अपने status पे डाल दीजिए कि ऐसे ऐसे अगर कोई मैसेज आ रहा है और वो मुझसे पैसे मांग रहे हैं तो प्लीज़ वो ना करें ऐसा. और action can only be taken by the cybercrime police, so I would request you to file a complaint on cybercrime.gov.in. Thank you.
Sir, with so many challenges going on social media, how safe are they? How can we spread awareness that these images are being misused on different platforms?
Namaste, Shimona. You had a very good question about the social media challenges. See, it depends. If the challenge is post a black and white picture of yours, it's a nice challenge, it's okay. Post a drawing or a painting of yours. But then you have to be careful. There are challenges which can be very dangerous and weird. And you've seen in the past there have been fire challenge or Kiki challenge and all that stuff which can be very dangerous and weird challenges, or posting an ugly picture of yours and then you don't realize that that picture can be taken up and you can be a target to cyberbullying. Internet is a very sensitive platform and these challenges, accepting a challenge is a personal choice, so nobody is going to punish you if you don't. So there are people who tag you for a challenge and then they say you don't have to break this. It's up to you. So be a smart user. See that it is not harmful, the challenge is not harmful. Second, it cannot lead to some kind of a bullying. Like there was recently, I was very shocked to see a challenge I heard on one of the platforms, going in front of your boyfriend naked. Now, I'm sorry, these kind of challenges are very dangerous. So you have to, as a user, you have to take your call and decide whether it is right or wrong for you. And be careful when you go for these social media challenges. Thank you.
People falling prey to misinformation is at high during the lockdown too. What is the most effective mechanism to curb this?
Namaste, thank you Kumar Vikram for asking this question. I have answered a little bit of it in the previous question also about fake news. And you're right that people are falling prey to fake information and misinformation, and we have recently seen some very serious incidences, especially in Maharashtra, which recently took place just because of a spread of a misinformation. So, as responsible netizens, when you forward something on WhatsApp, please re-verify the information from the official handles of the government agencies who are working day and night to control this epidemic problem in the country. All these handles, all the social media handles of government agencies are verified. They are alerting you with all the latest notifications and rules for the lockdown. One should just stick to them. And if suppose, for example, you get an information that a particular train station has opened one train which will take care of the laborers to be transferred from one location to another, so the best answer to the problem is check the railway handle, check the Ministry of Railway website or their Twitter handle or Facebook handle to verify the information. And we as educated users have a very big responsibility to spread the right information even in our own personal.
I am doing PhD in management and prepare a lot of thesis and work. How do I keep my data safe on my system? when I hear a lot of news that computers got hacked or camera in the system was hacked by hackers worldwide.
Namaste, Janice. Thank you for asking this question. How to identify whether you have a malware? So there are some symptoms which can help you to identify. Your phone goes slow, your apps are taking longer to load, the battery is draining fast as expected, there are abundance of pop-up ads coming up, and there is a lot of data going out. So the data usage is extremely or abnormally high. So these are some symptoms which can tell us that yes, my mobile might be infected. So how do I find it? You can go and open your settings in the phone. There is an option called apps running. So you go to the apps and you try to identify the malicious one. The app which you have not installed, it is there, and then if you check, it is extremely draining your memory. It is running in the background. It is using most of your permissions, and that is a suspicious one. Immediately uninstall it and then restart your device. And as a layman, if I'm not able to identify that app, I would recommend to take a proper backup of your data and then factory reset your device to remove it. Yes, there are some effective mobile apps for security. Some antiviruses like QuickHeal has a product for mobile, Norton has a product for mobile. There is an app called Mobile Scan which can also scan the vulnerabilities and your malwares from the phone. But the only problem with using, we find with using an antivirus on your...
If a user feels their device has been compromised, is there any way to 1. Identify the malware, 2. Delete it? How effective are antivirus softwares for mobiles?
Namaste, Janice. Thank you for asking this question. How to identify whether you have a malware? So there are some symptoms which can help you to identify. Your phone goes slow, your apps are taking longer to load, the battery is draining fast as expected, there are abundance of pop-up ads coming up, and there is a lot of data going out. So the data usage is extremely or abnormally high. So these are some symptoms which can tell us that yes, my mobile might be infected. So how do I find it? You can go and open your settings in the phone. There is an option called apps running. So you go to the apps and you try to identify the malicious one. The app which you have not installed, it is there, and then if you check, it is extremely draining your memory. It is running in the background. It is using most of your permissions, and that is a suspicious one. Immediately uninstall it and then restart your device. And as a layman, if I'm not able to identify that app, I would recommend to take a proper backup of your data and then factory reset your device to remove it. Yes, there are some effective mobile apps for security. Some antiviruses like QuickHeal has a product for mobile, Norton has a product for mobile. There is an app called Mobile Scan which can also scan the vulnerabilities and your malwares from the phone. But the only problem with using, we find with using an antivirus on your...
We contribute to many relief funds. How can we check its validity that we are donating to a proper account? As we can see a lot of fake IDs and accounts created on the same time.
Namaste, Trisha. आपका सवाल है how can we contribute to the right charity or relief fund. So a lot of fake IDs are being created. So it's very correct. We recently, for the Prime Minister Relief Fund, there was an ID created, PM Cares @SBI. It was PM Cares @SBI. This was a UPI handle created. And the bad guys, the hackers, they immediately created a lot of fake handles where one was PM Care, S was missing, and the other one was where instead of the spelling CARE, it was CAER, and this is how they made different handles. So to check the genuine handle being announced by any organization for where you want to donate, whether it's a CM relief fund or a Prime Minister Relief Fund or some NGO fund, so please check on their valid handles. So if you are on social media, that is the best way. You can go on the verified handles of these organizations and check for the UPI ID. So for example, if I want to donate to the PM Relief Fund, so there is a Prime Minister handle on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and these handles are verified. They have a small blue tick, and from there I will pick up the right one and then I will donate.
What should I do if I suspect an email message which I received is a phishing attempt?
नमस्ते रितेश, आपका सवाल था कि अगर you get a phishing mail, what to do with it. So let me just clarify this. If you're getting a phishing mail, until and unless you don't click on any link or any attachment, there is no risk to you or to your computer. What maximum you can do is report it as junk or report it as spam immediately, or delete the mail. And as such, we don't have any body where you can report this to. You can just be safe at your end that you report it as spam and delete it. Just don't open any attachment or click on any link which is there, either masked, hidden, or in the body of the mail. And if you don't do this, you are just safe. And one should know, very important, one should know to identify a phishing mail, to see the spelling of the domain, to see the name where the mail is coming from. And even if you know how to check a header inside the mail, that is you have an option in your mail which is called show original or view the raw message. That can also be very helpful to identify whether the mail is fake or genuine.
Thank you for joining us for our podcast. Stay tuned for our next event, and don't forget to follow Cyber Peace Foundation on our social media channels. Have a nice evening.